just yet. Should we be afraid?
Definitely, we should be afraid. We kept talking about early preparation. You know, going into any tournament or going into any competition, you plan very well, then you succeed. But if you fail to plan, that means you are planning for your failure. And if look at the kind of teams we are pitched with, you understand? Who will even look down at, okay, we can take on this team without proper preparation? It's scary. I'm already scared, to be sincere with you, because we are going to meet the giants of this game.
True.
You understand?
True.
So I'm scared that up till now we've not gone into proper planning.
Sport Bishop, we haven't won a single game in the Olympics basketball. And the Australians, they are preparing. They have lined up friendly games with China and Japan. Just like I asked Mr. J, should there be any cause for worries for the Tigers?
Oh, there should be. There should be. But the good news is that under Coach Wakama, you can see the fact that there's a plan. We had at least where they'll be. Fortunately for us this year, we don't know their antecedents. We know what they'll be doing before the tournament. That's been revealed that like over a month ago. Where they'll be camping, where they'll be training, and that's what's important. They may not be able to play maybe friendlies as big as this, but we know that their friendlies are lined up for the Tigers as well. So I want to see improved performance. You know, Nigeria has never won a game.
At least go there and win a game, even if you are not progressing. Doing that would have at least broken the jinx
look at the teams at our group. We've got Canada, Nigeria, France, and Australia. These are top teams in basketball.
Very tough.
So if we can go there and win a game, and then we take it one game at a time. I'm not piling pressure on these girls.
Yeah.
You know, for a team that today you use the same players, you have a problem with the players, you change over and bring another different player. And then under Wakama, you can see that most of these players are not really the experienced ones. The experienced ones have failed to return after what happened when, the last time to qualify for the World Cup. So for me, it's about one game at a time. They get to win a game, fine, if they can, but I want to see a progression, and that's why I don't want us to become local champions where we go to Africa, teams, where we get to Europe, the world, and then we suffer losses. So I want to see how well they can turn up against these big teams. That's what I'm looking at more often. Not about yes, we know where we are coming. We have friendly games, but can Nigeria first of all win the first game, and that's where we start off.
Progression starts by at least winning a game at the Olympics.
Absolutely. And let's move over now to the Buhari Township Stadium as we connect with our man Awoni Dayo as he gives us in swing between Enugu Rangers and Kano Pillars. Mr. Dayo, good to have you join us on the show this evening.
Good evening, Occupying on radio. It has been an explosive match, and I can tell you we have played 80 minutes already, and Kano Pillars is leading by a long goal. The goal was scored in the second minute by Umar Mustafa, and it has been a big dog that fears to them. And I can hear from the back, people are really excited. I can tell you right now that the stadium is full to the brim. As at 3 o'clock, fans have their feet out in their thousands, and I can tell you that we have more than 5,000 fans here cheering the team up. So now it's 1 goal to nothing in favor of Kano Pillars, and the goal was scored in the second minute. They are about to set the second goal. Started to go. Oh, what a miss! What a miss! But right now it's 1 goal to nothing in favor of Kano Pillars.
Okay, guys. Thank you very much for that update from the stadium. Now, talk to us about. You talked about the fact that the fans are in their numbers. Are these fans from Abuja, or are these fans from the teams that I know most of the teams play here are not based in Abuja? Where do you think these fans are from? From the pictures, which ones are getting over there?
I can tell you that 80% of the fans that we have in the stadium there are from Abuja here, and they are divided in their support. Some are supporting Rangers International, while some decided to support Kano Pillars. It has been an electrified environment here, and I can tell you, you can see people watching match here. You see that they already celebrating because they've been one of their teams to eventually emerge at the end of the day. Don't forget that these two teams that are playing today, they are playing Nigeria Professional Football League. Rangers International, they are number 1 on the log. And don't forget that Kano Pillars, they occupy number 9 on the log. So they know each other very well. And don't forget that before now, Rangers International, they've won Federation Cup on 6 occasions, while Kano Pillars, they won just only twice. So they know each other in and out, and they want to find each other at the end. But the game is still young now. They just play 20 minutes, and I believe they still have extra 70 minutes to play, and it can go either way at the end of the day.
Okay, you talked about the fact that both Enugu Rangers and, of course, Kano Pillars are perennial rivals. So the big question is this: do you think that this team are taking this competition serious? No, if the Enugu Rangers are top of the table, and their target is the Champions League. A winner in this competition will get only the Competitions Cup and the title. You're looking at the lineup. Can you tell us clearly that both teams have played up their strong squad in this encounter?
Now, I can tell you authoritatively that the two teams they are parading their first 11. I can see Fidelis giving out information to the players of the team. And also, we have Abdul Makaba here starting time here for the players to play the right. And I can tell you that Rangers International, they want to win the league and consolidate. Eventually, they come out of this group right now. They will go to round 32. They don't forget that this round 64. So the two teams, they come out playing all 5 halves, playing from all cylinders, making sure they assign each other. But I can tell you, it has been an explosive match from the kickoff until this perfect moment. As I'm talking to you now, Rangers International, they are about to take it very close to box 13. And I must tell you that people are enjoying themselves here. And just continue like this, I believe many people will be happy at the end of the day, whatever be the outcome.
Nice one there. I think it's a very good thing that we're having this kind of this kind of match in the FCT. From what is going on there, you are there, we are not there, but I can have the feeling that the match is very, very explosive. The question I was about to ask is whether having for Canopilla having scored a goal in the second minute, with what's going on, does it? And they are about to score the second goal again. Is it like Enugu Rangers are from what is happening, you being there, are you looking at the game that Enugu Rangers are taking it more serious? Is there any sign, even though it's a football game, we know it ends in 90 minutes? Is there any sign of a comeback for them, or they are like, let's
more like who is the better side?
Let's sacrifice this one and then concentrate on the league? Are you seeing any feeling like that?
Oh wow, it seems that we lost Mr. Dyer, but we will try to establish a connection with him. More on is Enugu Rangers looking to let go of the Federations Cup and concentrate on the MPFL title. Mr. D, good to have you back. Actually, the question we are asking is Enugu Rangers taking this game lightly in order to prepare for, or rather focus on the MPFL title, or it is more like early days for Canopillars?
I can barely hear. Hello, can you please repeat your question? I can barely hear you. The noise at the background here. Can you please relay?
Okay, what we are asking is Enugu Rangers are taking this game lightly in order to focus on the title, the league, or it is early days for Canopillars, more like Enugu Rangers just sizing Canopillars before they will explode?
No, the way they are playing presently, I think the two teams, they are taking this game very, very serious. Like I mentioned earlier, Enugu Rangers, they are parading their first 11. And the way it stands right now, they don't want to leave any stone unturned. They want to win this one. And if peradventure, anything can happen at the end of the league. It's not sure for them. They still have like 6 or 5 more matches to play before the end of the league. So they want to have this one in their kit. If peradventure they can win this one, and they believe that they have something in their hand. And there's a popular saying that a bird at hand is better than 1,000 in the bush. So they want to make sure that they win this match. Same thing with Canopilla. You know that Canopilla, they occupy number 9 position on the log right now. And if they can win this match now and progress, and eventually they emerge as the winner of Federation Cup at the end of the day, it's an additional laurel for them. And at the same time, they will represent Nigeria when it comes to international competition. So the two teams are coming out. They are playing very well right now. And I believe at the end of the day, if they should continue this way, it can go either way, as I mentioned earlier. But Canopillars, they are playing very well. Likewise, Rangers International, the two teams are coming out. But I mentioned earlier that Canopillars, they are leading by 1-0. And if it's signed this way, it's going to be an interesting result for Canopillars.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dyer. We will definitely reach out to you as the show progresses to get in swing from that game. Hopefully, you'll be there to oblige us.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, that's Mr. Awoni Dio all the way from the Buhari Township Stadium, giving us in-swing between Enugu Rangers and Kano Pillars. As it sees, Kano Pillars leads by a lone goal.
Absolutely, like you did say, Kano Pillars leading by a lone goal, but other games were played yesterday as well across different match venues. Aqua United beat Senegal FC by a goal to nil. Trinidad Stars and Solution FC played a 1-1 draw. Trinidad Stars won 3-2 on penalties. KB United beat Ines Stars by 2-1. Nasarawa United were 1 goal better than FC Bako. Kara United defeated the Rovers FC by 4-1. Sporting Supreme beat PCM by 3-0. Oshun United played a 1-0 draw with EFCC, but EFCC of Abuja got a 4-2 win on penalties. Beyond Limit 1, Hamola FC 1. Hamola winning 4-3 on penalties. Ikorodu defeated Green Beret by 3-0. Bendel Insurance were 1 goal better than Stop. That game went down here at the Area 3 Stadium. Co City 3, Equity Feeders 0. Zamfara United 0, ABS FC 1, Academy Warriors 2, Adami Bongo FC 0, Kasna United 7, Duse Strikers 0, Gombe United 3, Karim United 1, Wiki Torres beat Gino Damburam 5-0 before the game was postponed to the next day. And of course, we were fan of Lobby Stars. They did the job against Delta Marines, winning them by 6-1. So big results coming up from the Federations Cup round of 64.
That's the biggest scoreline yesterday. Castina United showing that yes, they are ready for this year's Federation Cup. All right, away from that, let's touch down at the game of basketball as the BAL is set to commence this Saturday. But one team is talking tough. I mean, the point guard of the APR of Rwanda, Adonis File, he has said that, look, their team is ready to topple all the teams in the region. The Rwanda champions are placed in the same group with the host AS Douanes of Senegal, former champion USM Monastery of Tunisia, and Nigerians Rivers Opus. Phillips pointed out that APR is in Dakar with a target to win all their conference games. He says that the target was always the same, to win. He confidently said that. Mr. J, Hoopers Unite, Rivers Hoopers, the only team, not the only team, the team representing Nigeria in this year's bars, and of course, a former champion USM Monastir. I can see that the confidence is high, owing that they are the champions of Rwanda. But then, don't you think that this is overconfidence, saying they are ready to defeat every team in the region that will not lose any game?
Well, it's a target for him, but achieving the target is another thing, and it takes a lot of sacrifices for them to achieve that target, and not just sacrifice. It's a game. Anything game like this, you also need some elements of luck. You may put in your best of performance, but if the god of the game is not on your side, you can also lose the match. We are the Nigerian representative. We're not going there with their bag on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They are also going there to fight competitively in this competition, and we believe it will end at just talking, because we will definitely support our own to come out on top.
Absolutely supporting our own, and that is Rivers Hoopers.
Simple, it's garbage in, garbage out. We can support from now to tomorrow. We don't put the right thing in place, we will not do it. But I'm happy, like I said, for the first time we see Nigeria signing foreign players ahead of the BAL. We can point out, like I did read that was 2 days ago, where I read out the players that they signed before the BAL. We hope that this will turn their tide, and at least, like I keep saying, win the first game. How can you go to 2 different tournaments with 2 different teams and fail to win a single game? I know these guys are former winners, are former top teams in Africa, but come on now. When it comes to the basketball in Africa, Nigeria is one of the best. The Tigers.
Exactly.
So how come we not win a single game in two editions of the BAL? Absolutely shocking. So
that's why I'm.
So if they are talking tough, we should all be calm and be humble.
When you are talking about the Tigers, you look at the players that formed the Tigers. They are all foreign based. They are all foreign basketballers.
At the same time, we have players now.
How many of them have been able to make the Tigers list? How many?
Many of them have been able to. Look at the last.
How many?
The last time Afro basketball, we had some home-based players. The last Olympic qualifiers, we had some home-based players.
But we know the best of the Tigers has always
We
been the
know that
foreign
because
best.
they are
And
the
when they
best.
come, they do us proud in Africa. All right, before we jet out of the shores of Africa and move to the Robinson after going on a commercial break, good news for the likes of a Nigerian Super Eagles forward Cyril Dessers, as we hear that he has been nominated for Rangers Player of the Month of April award. The 29-year-old ended the month strongly with 3 goals and an assist for the Gears.
Absolutely.
Cyril Dessers nominated for April. Kevin Bassi also there nominated for April. Alex Iwobi also there nominated with Fulham alongside.
And I mean, while we beat one man just won the month for April, and that's no other
In
than-
Club Brugge.
Exactly. Talking about Rafael Onyedika, he did that one. He became the Club Brugge Player of the Month, scoring 3 goals and making 1 assist. Beat the duel of Michael Sokras and Nordin Jackers to win the award. What a player he has. 44 appearances in all competition for the club this season. He's been a rare gem. So, like I said, it's a good time for Nigerian players abroad. I'm going to be sincere with you. Like you talk about Calvin Bassey and the rest of them, but come on. Even our best players in the home base are winning players in the month as well. Don't forget to enjoy
Allah Aina, did I forget to mention him with Nottingham Forest.
Did you see the game he had against a certain
Manchester
Kyle
City.
Walker?
Despite the
Fantastic.
result.
Yeah, he practically took. We normally claim here. We sit down here and talk about how fast Kyle Walker is.
But someone else.
Someone took him on a run and he couldn't keep up. He needed glucose. So kudos to our Nigerian players abroad. I just hope they bring this form and help Finidi George start his reign on a bang.
Exactly. That is all we hope for.
All right, before we finally leave the shores of Africa, let's go to Zambia. It is looking like the Zambian women's team might be kicked out by FIFA ahead of their Olympic Games. We hear that Zambia and Nigeria are the 2 teams that have progressed to represent Africa in this year's Olympics that will be going down in Paris. But due to the interference of politics, where we hear that Zambia FA President Andrew Kamanga has been suspended for a while following suspicion and accusation of money laundering offenses. It is the government of the country that actually brought this to the fray, and he has been summoned to court, and FIFA said, no, this is football and this is not politics. If you do not end this game or end this tussle, Zambia women will not play in the Olympics. How far can we go with politics and football? We saw that with Nigeria some years back. We saw that with Cameroon. It is currently ongoing. Ivory Coast at one time we are caught in the web, but they were smart enough to unweb themselves from that web. And now Zambia, the latest culprit.
You cannot take government interference from football. I'll keep saying it from now to
And
next
FIFA will not agree with you.
See, it doesn't matter. See, we have to lay the marker. It's our own football. It's not FIFA's football.
But
African football is different. And this is why, let me give you an example. When Egypt laid the marker and stamped the authority that FIFA will ban, will not ban, that news was waved away. The FA was thrown away and the new election was had. You can't keep messing around with public funds and you tell us that you can't interfere. It's gibberish. Absolute rubbish. We need to see, if government will give you 10 million and pay at least 80% of your bill, then you have to be accountable to the government, because this money are not stolen money. They are money from the coffers of the government, from taxpayers like me and you.
But
and we have to wait. FIFA should just be patient with us. And until we start having
Zambia.
sponsors
Thank
for
you.
our
We come like the English FA.
exactly that they are even rather remitting money to the government. Exactly. But now the government is still spoon feeding us. I don't think
it's a no-no.
It will be.
So you mean that a case of corruption like this should be left? We should close an eye to because it cannot interfere.
No, it should be.
Come on now, come on guys. So what does it mean? It just brings in mediocrity into our sport, mediocrity into our football. We get men who are not interested in running our football, and they tarnish the image of our own football. And they eat, they take, they don't give.
And they don't give.
I understand the point, gentlemen, concerning what FIFA is doing with Zambia, but then we need to understand that there are smart ways to go about this thing. Why FIFA is concerned about political influence? Yes, because their influence in the game will definitely tarnish the image of the game progressing, but then Africa has not grown to the
Exactly.
level.
Exactly, that is the
Yeah,
point.
So
but then,
give
but
us
then we need to
great
create
sense.
a balance because we have been going back and forth in this issue. But Nigeria, but that's of Cameroon. Of lately, we saw Rwanda,
Yeah.
South Africa, Egypt, Morocco. They are the team that have somehow
Managed
went
to,
away
yeah.
from political interference. Even though we are
But there's
seeing
still-
with Morocco of
There's
lately.
two with
With Morocco.
with a touch, a little
Somehow.
touch,
But
even in South
somehow.
Africa.
That has to do with how do I put it now, unity, not political interference with their financial undertone. But all in all, Zambia need to sort this as soon
quickly as
as
possible.
possible. Hence, we might not be seeing the Zambia women national team.
Absolutely. I think if you,
In this year
I
Olympics.
think the government should invite them over to the country and let them have
A meet-
first-hand
a brief,
view of what is
yeah,
going on with the
yeah,
football
yeah.
and why they can't keep quiet anymore. So,
Exactly.
come on, I feel for the ladies, but it is what it is. At least all is well that would end well. So,
A rule is the rule.
Absolutely.
No politics in football. We will be right back to let you know why Jordan Sancho and Erik Ten Hang, they are still having that on. I will hold it there. Stay tuned to find out. But one man is begging. Who is that? Don't touch the die. All right, welcome back to the second hour of your Sport Show, Sport Lounge. We know you have been waiting for us. Come on up, we hike here to take you around the world of sports just as we have done in the first 30 minutes. And we've got just that 22-minute left to give you the best of sport on Voice of the People 96.1 FM Abuja. My name still remains my name. It is Franklin Imana, the one you know as a Fine Boy, the sports chef. And I've got with me on the show
The sport bishop, the magistrate, the pilot, the prophet, the professor, none so, Aaron Zechi. And also, we've got
Mr. J. Keep it simple.
MJ, man.
Keep it simple.
Marco G. John said, great to be part of the show.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, now for this we'll be heading on to the foreign scene. There was Champions League football. How did it end? There is Europa League and Conference League football. We'll let you know on how it will get how it will go.
There's also Premier League game.
There is Premier League football. It is the London Derby. All this and more on the show. Time to take over.
All right, let's move straight to the foreign scene. And in the world of the foreign scene, as much as we want to talk about sport, but come on, let's start from where it went down yesterday. It was a game that Paris Saint-Germain were at their worst yesterday in the UEFA Champions League.
Well, you can say there was because the...
Mr. J, you want to defend Paris Saint-Germain.
No,
you want to defend them. But I will not defend them because
they were not at
just
their
a minute.
worst.
They were at their worst. Do you know what happened? Yesterday, investors were bleeding. A lot of tickets went down. So many people's house rent and people's salary. Mr. J, let's hear you.
Honestly, when you look at that game and you see all the efforts that PSG put into that game, it was just what I call the god of the game that came to smile on Borussia Dortmund. You can't have several attempts like that. They pull the bar and on some saves you wouldn't expect to just come out. It's very. I mean, I've not given up on PSG in this competition because I know it's gonna be. The table must definitely turn.
Anyway, for me, come on, guys. The investors bleed. Come on, you don't expect Paris Saint-Germain to go to the Signal Iduna Park and get all results. Come on, man. I did say clearly that you're playing not against Dortmund, but against the yellow wall. And for a team that you play the 1-0 draw in the group stages, they want to react, and that's what they did. Kudos have to go to Edin Terzic, the coach of Dortmund. He played a well-controlled game. Doesn't explosive. He didn't know if he had gone explosive. The pace of Bracola, Kylian Mbappe, and of course Ousmane Dembele would have cost them silly. So he tried to control the game. Got a beautiful goal. What a control for finish from Frukuk. Class. First control with the right foot and the finish bang with the left foot. Tells you why he's one of the best finishers in Europe, and that's why he's in that team. And a beautiful finish for them. 1-0. It's not Uhuru for Dortmund, but come on, the second leg is a lot to be played for. I'll keep saying it. To me, I think it's points dropped by Dortmund. They should have won that game 3-4-5. They had chances to bury the game. They didn't. And now it's like a lifeline for Paris Saint-Germain when they get back to the Parc des Princes.
But looking at the game yesterday, the game was closely followed, closely tied in terms of possession, in terms of shots, in terms of corner kicks, throwing. But I believe, I saw the game yesterday. Paris Saint-Germain, they were more on the ball. But when you talk about efficiency, it was Borussia Dortmund. When they are on the prowl, when they are on the attack, there tends to be a beast. The likes of Jadon Sancho, ooh la la, he had a good game yesterday. He was just busy turning a certain Nuno Mendes in and out like Yabasira turning a Wedu soup and Amala on that. It was a very good game. Look at a certain Sabitzer. Sabitzer was a monster in the middle of the park. And the likes of Brandt literally outmuscled Vitinha in that game.
I forget the best player on the pitch of play yesterday is Jadon Sancho. As at the 20th minute of play, he had more take-ons than anybody in the Champions League in any single game. As at the 27th minute, I think he taught this guy silly. Nuno
Mendes.
The guy was all over the place, man. He couldn't catch up. He needed glucose. Absolutely, the guy was second to everything Sancho did. Sancho went past the defender as if there was nobody there. You know, it was that easy. You know, and that's why I said they didn't make use of the chances. If they had created, with all the chances Sancho had created yesterday, they should have scored 2 or 3 goals.
And
because it was absolute sumptuous, edible. It was exquisite. It was football in its Chelsea's. Come on, he played football with so much panache, and you can argue with everything you want to say, but wow, Sancho was a proper revelation. I think he's proven his doubters wrong. I think they'll move back to Germany as reignited a young man's career.
Yeah, watching that game yesterday, one question kept coming to my mind, and what will Manchester United be thinking?
And I will tell you exactly what they are thinking. Erik Ten Hang has come out to praise Jadon Sancho's performance yesterday, saying that this was the performance that United saw and went all out for him. For 2 years, they were waiting for him to put pen to paper for a £72 million deal. And it's looking like he's somehow regretting letting Sancho go. But come on, Sancho hasn't said anything. But Sancho preferred doing the talking on the pitch.
But it brings us back to one question of Sancho. Is Sancho really a Premier League player? I don't
well, that's another thing. If he is actually a Premier, no, hold on. If he's actually a Premier League player, does Man U alongside?
Oh wow! It seems he has the manual.
Yeah, because the 2 seasons he has spent under Erik Ten Hang, all we saw is different. And that's why what will be going on in the mind of Manchester United hierarchy.
Back to what I said some few years ago, and I'll drag in a fine boy into it when I talked about him and Anthony. What Sancho needed is a man who put his arms around him and tell him, "Boy, you're my man.
You're my man.
You can do this. It's possible." He didn't get that from Ten Hag. All he got was chastisement and harassment. And to topple him, to topple all he had done, he then threw the young man under the bus to say the man was lazy and unserious.
This thing would it would have been sweeter had Man U and Borussia Dortmund had to play in the Europe.
Mr. J, off your mic. This is the point where you need to off your mic. All right, action continues later tonight in the second there of Europe football. Talking about the Europa League, where Olympic Marseille will welcome Nigerians owner Ademola Lookman's Atalanta, and this second game built for today, we'll see Roma take on Bayern, never losing. Mr. J, it will be 47 games unbeaten if Bayern, never losing, go ahead not to lose tonight. But Roma looks like a different team in the Europa League.
Yeah, a different team. Where will I even start from?
Start from somewhere.
Leverkusen has really put in a very nice job to their
First,
narration.
give kudos to pour some encomiums on Xabi Alonso.
Exactly. That's what the team in its entirety. They've really done well that won everyone's admiration. And you know, whatever have a beginning, almost one day have an end. A certain team or club has done 49, and one day the unbeaten run came to an
by Manchester United.
We don't know if the unbeaten run of Bayern
courtesy of Ruud van Nistelrooy and Wayne Rooney.
We don't know if the unbeaten run will end in the hands of Roma tonight or it will continue. Is left to be seen. But because if you put these 2 teams aside, Roma is ruthlessly good this presently, and the same way Bayern Leverkusen is good. So we wait to see what happens tonight. If Xabi Alonso will be able to play his cards very well, he will scale through. If he's done otherwise, then we'll wait to see.
Okay, but I'm more interested. I want to see my man Nathan Taylor and Victor Boniface play.
Yeah, very important.
Very important to me, and of course, our qualifiers will come very soon. Hopefully, they keep this unbeaten run going. They could bring that spirit to the Super Eagles.
Bringing the spirit into the Super Eagles is all we are clamoring for.
All right.
We see individual players doing very well. Look at how many Nigerian Super Eagles players are up for award in this month of April. Many of them.
Virtually everywhere. And the other game, Marseille and Atalanta, it will be going down simultaneously alongside Roma and Bayern Leverkusen. All right, it is that time where we get to involve on the show. Pick up your phone and make sure that there is enough airtime and data. Reach out to us on 070-0010-961-961, 070-0010-961-961. We love to hear from you. You know how we'd love to do it. The show is all about you. All right, let's continue on the show as we move over now to the games that will be going down in the EPL later tonight. All right, of course, there are games in the Conference League where Aston Villa will take on Olympiacos, and then Fiorentina will take on Club Brugge. Well, some people call it the man Martinez. He won't be playing in this one.
But they've got an Oseni who did very well in the last game. Martin Oseni is a experienced.
And he collected 2.5 against Chelsea.
Come on, man. Come on. He made like 4 or 5 saves before I get those 2 goals. So, it's not a little in this one. So let's see how it goes.
All right. Congratulations to Chelsea if you are a Chelsea fan. Just when you are about to file out against your city neighbor, talking about Tottenham Hotspur, we hear that Chelsea have sent money, sent 2 bags of rice, 15 tubers of yam, and 88 a liter of palm oil
and
to
2 he-goats.
Thank you very much. To beg a certain Antonio Conte to become the coach of Chelsea. We hear that meeting was productive as Antonio Conte is weighing his option concerning the vacant position at Napoli and of course at Chelsea. We hear that Antonio Conte might just be the next coach of Chelsea.
Okay, guys.
I personally think that it will be too early for Chelsea to fire Pochettino, because Pochettino for me is a very good coach. He knows how to build team, and this is a very young team. They are not matured yet. Most of them are. I won't call them amateur, but they are all professional. But they are wholly inexperienced when it comes to Premier League. I will advise Chelsea to hold on, to be patient with him, let him groom.
Patient with who?
With Pochettino.
Mauricio Pochettino.
I know he is not a cup winner, he's not a trophy winner in England.
And that is where Chelsea
want to be.
Exactly.
But with this crop of players, I don't think they are matured enough. Bringing whichever coach is coming, Thiago Silva might be leaving at the end of this.
He will be leaving, not mine.
Who is that experienced winner that you'll be counting on if this team is not groomed together properly under the tutelage of a coach like Pochettino?
All right, so let's look at the game quickly later tonight. Tottenham against Chelsea. Chelsea still looking for a way to at least make it to the Europa Conference League position, while Tottenham are still dreaming of making the top 4, even though it is looking elusive from them. It is another derby for Tottenham. Last weekend they played against Arsenal, where we all know how the result went. 3-2, they lost at home, and now they'll be playing away from home to Chelsea. Sport Bishop, do you see any dilly-dally in this game?
Anyway, Chelsea are missing 4 key players. Levi Kowi, Christopher Nkunku, and Zazi will be assessed, not fully sure. And Thiago Silva, who will leave, is also ruled out with a groin injury. So, but for Tottenham Hotspur, Tumawada will miss remainder of the season. But Ben Davies, who could be back, and Oliver Skip is set to return. So, basically for Spurs, they've got a full complement of their players. But for Chelsea, without Thiago, if they don't have Axel Disasi, it could be a problem for Chelsea. Chelsea are hoping that they continue from that comeback against. They thought they had won anyway, but it had to do against Aston Villa. But we'll wait and see how things pan out. But come on, it's going to be a big game. We know that Chelsea have lost only one of their past 10 Premier League fixtures against Spurs. They've won 7 and they've drawn 2. While Tottenham Hotspur solitary win in their last 38 games against Chelsea, no competition, was a 3-1 win against April. So Tottenham Hotspur hates this fixture, while Chelsea loves this fixture. Wait and see, but I think I will bank on Chelsea to win this one, but it's going to be a tough game.
All right, quickly, let's go back to the Buhari Township Stadium as a man is ready to give us in-swing concerning that game between Enugu Rangers and Kano Pillars. Mr. D. Hello, we can hear you. What's the update?
Yes, it's the end of first half now, and I can tell you that Rangers International, they equalized in 37 minutes via Okoli. It was a kindly collected passes from the midfield, and he slotted it in without any controversy at all. So right now it's Kano Pillars 1, Rangers International 1. They've all gone back to the dressing room preparing for second half now to start. But I must tell you, like I mentioned earlier on, that the two teams, they really came out to play, and it really shows in the score line right now, as two of them, they are having one goal apiece.
All right, before we let you go, Mr. D, because our time is running fast on the show. You are there, you are seeing the game live. Can you, from your own perspective, who do you think will smile at the end of the second half?
Now, after equalizing by Rangers, I think they are now coming out to really play Canopilas. It's not easy for Canopilas after the Rangers International equalized. They really read their game from the beginning. They allowed them to settle in, but right now, Rangers International, they are playing like a team that is ready to triumph at the end of the day. So I won't be surprised if Paraventure, Rangers International emerge, but I believe Caterpillar will not just lie down in silence and allow Rangers International to take the lead. So it's going to be an interesting second half. But I'm seeing Rangers International, the way they are playing towards the end of first half, they might just come out triumph.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dio, for that in-swinger. We sincerely appreciate your contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, that's all the way from the Buhari Township Stadium. All right, before we run off from the show, because our time is telling us that, look, guys, you need to leave. And Newcastle midfielder Sancho has finally been given a suspension of 2 months after admitting to breaches of a Football Association betting rule. This is not a wise investor. You didn't invest well.
But anyway, thank God it is a suspended FA ban. It won't come into play until... it's just having a 10-month ban, so it won't come into play right now. So wait and see. But good one for Newcastle that it's not an additional ban. I wonder when they will return if it's out for almost 10 months and more ban comes.
Such a talented player, Mr. J.
Absolutely.
AC Milan prodigy, a player that was built for the future, just like a certain Bruno Guimaraes of Newcastle. We thought that the partnership between himself and a certain Antonelli would be fire, but he's on fire. Was between the screen and piece of paper.
It's very, very unfortunate because he came in with so much euphoria. The coming of Tonali into Newcastle, with what they've done last season, we were all expecting them to be a top 4 candidate. But then it's a disappointment for me because I expected more from him.
We hear that Raf Radnik has rejected the Bayern Munich position, not Mr. J, Sport Bishop.
You know I would reject the position. I won't go now.
Why?
It's Leroy Sané. He may fight me in the dressing room. So
Joshua Kimmich. He will say, I want to play here, coach. This is where I want.
I can't go there now. I'm waiting for them to machine them out. And then, come on, man.
How did Bayern Munich get this bad? Where coaches are rejecting them literally.
Wow. I can't really tell, but it is what it is. I think he's enjoying life with Austria with the likes of Alaba. To leave Alaba and play with Kimmich.
Perhaps they should look the way of a certain Emmanuel Amunike to take over the job.
Maybe get back a certain man who has lost his job, former coach of the German national team, the guy who has a flick again. Maybe.
Wow.
After all, most of the players were at that point are the same players he worked with.
All right, let's move over now to the world of tennis as we hear that Carlos Alcaraz bid for a 3rd straight title at the Madrid Open was ended by Andrei Rublev. The Russian seeder defeated the Russian 7-seeder Rublev rallied from a set down in the quarterfinal to win a 4-6, 6-3, 6-2 and break Alcaraz's 14-match winning streak in a Spanish capital. Somebody said when you are a friend of Rafael Nadal, when the bromance is open, be careful. You might just be the next player to be shown the exit door. All right, finally on the show, let's touch down on basketball as we hear that it is not too good for a certain Miami Heat as the Boston Celtics advance to the NBA Eastern Conference Playoff semifinals with a comfortable 4-1 series win over the Miami Heat. Kudos must be given to a certain Derek White and Jalen Brown, who both scored 25 points for the Celtic as they went ahead to win 118-84.
Miami Heat out. Officially, Boston Celtics go through. They joined the likes of the LA Lakers who have been dumped out and some other teams as well. But right now, we're getting closer to the business, and now we're through to the semifinals of the playoffs. We hear as well that it was also a good day for the likes of the Dallas Mavericks. They're closer. They're now 3-2 in the series against the Los Angeles Clippers. Also, the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Orlando Pirates will be playing on Saturday. The Cleveland still lead 3-2 in that series. So let's brace up for an exciting time. But I can tell you, finally the boys have been separated from the men. If the team like that LA Lakers that has LeBron James have been dumped out, and now we see the Miami Heat join suit. It seems the semifinals and the finals will be Absolutely epic.
And this is where we will drop anchor on the show, Mr. J. Always a pleasure talking sport with you. You're such a fantastic guy.
Thank you very much.
Sport Bishop.
Always
Chelsea, Tottenham, Roma, Bayern Leverkusen, Atalanta, Marseille. Where would you be? Where would you be?
Come on, I want the best of the worst. Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur, obviously. I'll be watching.
But what is there to find? Okay.
Bragging right.
Bragging right.
Bragging right. This is London derby. Bragging right. Would the Copama be cold, or would they send him to the microwave?
We will definitely return with the bragging right at the same time tomorrow, 4 p.m. But to keep a date with us on the show, Spot Beats, 8:30 a.m. We will be back to make your breakfast time complete. On behalf of Mr. J, the Spot Bishop, and I, we want to say we are done and we are gone. God bless, no stress. Adios. The Spot Bishop takes you up to 8 p.m. Don't change the die. But I love plantain. And Tamaya say, come, Uncle Fine Boy, let's do the plantain song together. He calls this one Plantain Boy. Take care.